There seems to be a little bit sort of a trend going on in this Gold Cup so far where one side will outplay the other, not put away their chances, and go on to lose. We saw Honduras completely take Costa Rica to school in that first match in Group A. Couldn't put away their chances through ELS and Kyoto. Costa Rica won. They held on for the 1-0 victory. The United States should have lost that game against Panama. I'm a USA fan, but we were very fortunate to come out of there with a draw. We should have lost that game. And then yesterday, for most of the Curacao-Jamaica fixture, you saw Curacao creating the most chances. Jamaica looked stagnant. They didn't really threaten going forward. They registered hardly any shots on goal during the first half, but Curacao fell victim to the same trap that Honduras and Panama found themselves in, which is that they faced a side who they were better than, but they were more clinical in putting away their chances when they came. Jamaica was, not Curacao. Curacao, through Lucena, Bacuna, Hoy, had some really great shots on target. And they forced the Jamaican goalkeeper to making some really outstanding saves. I believe his last name is Blake. He's been the best goalkeeper of this tournament so far, in addition to Brad Guzan, making, game-saving blocks through efforts on target from the opposing team. So for Curacao, this was they have to consider this a disappointment because they just played this same team 2 weeks ago in the Caribbean Cup final, who they beat 2-1. Arguably could have won that game more. I saw that match. It was a very one-sided affair. And here, Jamaica just capitalized when their opportunities came. And Curacao will feel hard done that they could not get at least a result from this match. But at the end of the day, you have to give outstanding credit to Jamaica because that goal by Darren Mattox in the 73rd minute, that was a wonderful piece of dribbling. And the way that he leveled the ball off his off his right foot, and then just smacked it into the top left corner, defeating goalkeeper Bloom, that was a wonderful strike. And I think that was the best goal of the Gold Cup so far. So Jamaica here, as the game went on, the dying stages in the last 20 to 25 minutes, their tournament experience really shined through here, and you saw at Curacao, when they couldn't put away their chances, they allowed Jamaica to grow into this game, to come back into it, and it cost them in the end. And you can't blame Jamaica for that. Jamaica goes joint top of the group with Mexico on 3 points, plus 2 goal differential. And at least Curacao with all to make up for it, because they still have to play Mexico. They still have to play El Salvador. And then Jamaica, they still have to play Mexico and El Salvador as well. But they don't have to worry about Mexico in their last match the same way that Curacao do. So Curacao, the match they have against El Salvador, is going to be a must-win. Curaçao's game against El Salvador is a must-win if they want to have any chance of going through this group as one of the two best third-placed sides. There's still a chance they finish this group in second, but it's looking much more narrower now that they dropped points against Jamaica in a game that they should have at least gotten a point out of. And for Jamaica, I think they're sitting pretty. I think they're doing well. They're probably the favorite right now to come second in this group. So well done to the Reggae Boys. In Mexico versus El Salvador. Look, Mexico looks like they can become the first ever Confederations Cup dual annual year champions. They can retain this Gold Cup trophy, make it 4 out of 5, 4 of the last 5 Gold Cup editions. This is a Mexican C team, but they came out strong. They really put El Salvador on the back foot. And the first half of this match was arguably one of the most entertaining of the tournament so far. We had, I believe, 3 really good goals. El Salvador responding right away when Mexico went ahead in the 8th minute, scoring 2 minutes later in the 10th minute through Nelson Bonilla. As I mentioned in my one of my Gold Cup analysis preview and prediction videos for Group C, I said look out for Rodolfo Zelaya and Nelson Bonilla for El Salvador. That's where the goals would come from. Sure enough, Nelson Bonilla adding to his tally, one of El Salvador's veteran players, really one of their central leaders on the field. And El Salvador had a pretty good opportunity a few minutes later to take the lead 2-1, but one of their central midfielders blasted it way too high, and it went over the crossbar and on top of the netting. And then sure enough, Mexico punished them for it later on. I believe it was in the 29th minute where Elias Hernandez gave them the lead. And then from there, they never looked back, and they held on for the win. They extended their lead in the second half in the 55th minute through Orbelin Pineda. If you look at the second half of this game, it was like almost an entirely different match from the first half. It was not as exciting, but you saw Mexico producing really good chances to make this into a blowout. But a 3-1 scoreline is pretty much what you would expect from this game, given the opponent and it not being Mexico's strongest lineup. They were not sorely missing Osorio out there today. Whether or not this was more a case of Mexico's C team stepping up with a point to prove, or if it was just because their opponent was El Salvador, I think that remains to be seen. We'll find out later in the tournament as they play against tougher opposition, because you have to assume now they're going to come through this group, and it looks like they're going to come through this group in first. And many of us believe that was always going to be the case, regardless of what squad Mexico brings to this tournament. I do think Mexico is going to face a tough test against Jamaica just because of the athleticism, the physicality, and the whole revenge factor involved for the Jamaicans as well. Mexico knocking them out in the last 2 major tournaments held in the Americas. So that's going to be interesting to watch. And I'm looking forward to that. Also looking forward to see how Curacao and El Salvador bounce back from this match. They both lost, so they need a win against each other. So that should be a really entertaining and interesting game. This is the most interesting group, in my opinion. I think it's the most well-balanced, and we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. For Mexico, Mexico looks like they can win this again. I don't want to go too much into that because it's still the first game. We still have to watch more Gold Cup games. Maybe by another 3-4 days, when everyone in this tournament has played twice, we'll have a better understanding of where things lay out. But Mexico looks just as good as just about anyone in this tournament so far. The 3 teams that have really stood out and impressed me have been Mexico, Honduras, and Panama. So we'll see where that goes. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. We have a day off today for the Gold Cup. I believe that tomorrow we're returning to Group A with Honduras against French Guiana and Costa Rica against Canada. So until then, guys, have a good day. Thank you again. Much love. Thanks for the support. Peace out.